Okay, today let's see the job of strategic automotive sales, Southeast Asia sales manager. This job is released by Renesas. Let's check on the deep language.
Renesas.
Renesas Electronics in Singapore Private Limited.
Renesas Electronics.
Renesas Electronics. This job is released by Renesas Electronics Singapore Private Limited. Strategy automotive sales, Southeast Asia sales manager. They have 23 applicants. Post on 16 June 2023. This position will closing on 30 June 2023. Okay, about the company. Renesas Electronics Singapore Private Limitation. No more information introduction. Let's see the role and responsibility. Responsibilities: develop and manage a high-performance sales FAE teams for Renesas in Southeast Asia for the automotive segment.
Asia.
Southeast Asia for the automotive segment. Sales and FAE team. What is the FAE team? No explain. So let's go on for the next line. Account coverage for key OEM, Taiwan, and multinational accounts in the region. OEM is used in the manufacturing industry. This means that always some partner they can produce the product according to your requirement, and just how to say. Let's see it on the Google to got the detailed explanation. OEM. Okay, OEM or original equipment manufacturing. It is original equipment manufacturers. Original equipment manufacturing is a broad term that describes a web or relationship among IT hardware vendors, hardware component makers, software vendors, and channel partners such as a reseller and distributor. But I think this is always used for the manufacturing in automotive. Let's see on the Google wiki how to translate it to English. Okay, just looking for the Wikimedia. Original equipment manufacturer. Manufacturer, yes. And original equipment manufacturer, OEM, is generally perceived as a company that produces non-aftermarket parts. The non-aftermarket parts and the equipment that may be marketed by another manufacturer. It is a common industry term recognized and used by many professional organizations such as SAE International, SO, and others. However, the term is also used in several other ways, which cause ambiguity. It sometimes means the market the maker of a system that include other companies' subsystems. An end product producer, an automotive part that is manufactured by the same company that produces the original part used in the automobile assembly, or a value added reseller. Okay, I think maybe in the automotive industries, it is very popularly used. When referring to auto parts, OEM typically refer to the manufacturer of the original equipment. That is, the parts which are then subsequently assembled and installed during the construction of a new vehicle. In contrast, aftermarket parts are those made by companies other than the OEM, which might be installed as replacements or enhancements after the car comes out of the factory. For example, if Ford used the Autolite spark plugs, exit battery, Bosch fuel injector, and folders on engineer blocks and heat and building a car. When car restore and collectors consider those to be the OEM parts. Other brand parts will be considered aftermarket, such as Champion Sparks plugs, die-hard battery, Kinsale Kinsler fuel injector, and BMP engineer blocks and heats. Many auto parts manufacturers sell parts through multiple channels. For example, to car maker for installation during new vehicle construction, to car makers, to reseller as automaker brand replacement parts, and through general merchandise supply chain. Any given brand of parts can be OEM in some vehicle model and aftermarket on others. Okay, it is explained of the automotive parts. Okay, it is very useful. Okay, let's back to the job description. Okay, let's compare with the computer industry. OEM license is a model for software companies to offer license. The most important feature of which is that the license is usually attached directly to important hardware such as the mainboard. The OEM product key is cheaper than the corresponding retail version, but both use the same software. Toshiba, Lenovo, etc. They can also be purchased by individual for personal user, including virtual hardware, and for the sale or resale for the computer they build. In every Microsoft end-user license agreement for OEMs, the product key is tied to the motherboard of the computer in which it was originally installed, after which the key are generally not transferred between computers. They can only be activated for the same computer. This is in control to the serial keys, which can be transferred. A major hardware change will trigger a activation reminder at which the retailer version. Okay. Let's back to the job description. Okay, for the tier 1, how to pronounce it?
Tier.
Sorry. For the tier 1, this means it's the first class vendor. It is popular in the automotive tier 1.
Tier 1 automotive.
It is very popular used in the automotive industry because you always have the tier 1 supplier, the tier 2 supplier, and the tier 3 supplier because they are always something. It is a core component for the vehicle. There is some component is not very important, and someone is the external. So the vendors is classified into tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3. Okay, let's see the third line. Exceed KPIs including sales of revenue and design for all products including SCO, MCUs, analog power and connectivity products. SCO is probably used in the electronic fields. Let's check it on the Google SOC. It is system on a chip. Okay. And for the MCU is always used in the automotive industry. It is used for the very live to the brain or the brain for the vehicle. Maybe in 7 or 8 years ago, I have developed some program for the MCU. MCU is a microcontroller, just maybe a small computer on a single VLSI integrated circuit IC chip. Integrated
circuit,
yes, integrated circuit chip. They can handle all of this information about the vehicle. Let's see the explain on the Wikimedia. A microcontroller MCU for microcontroller unit, also as MCUC or MUC, is a small computer on a single VLSI integrated circuit IC chip. Microcontroller contains one or more CPUs, process cores, along with memory and programmable input and output partial. Program memory in the form of RAM, NOR, flash, or OTP ROM is also often included on chip, as well as a small amount of RAM. Microcontrollers are designed for embedded application in control to the microprocessor used in personal computer or other general-purpose application consisting of various discrete chips. You can find it the interface for the MCU always at your vehicle's shift 档盖gear shift lever. You can find it at the position of the gear shift. There is always a small box and you can open it. There you can find the interface for the MCU, and you can connect it to computer, and the inspection of the information is saved and stored in the MCU's storage, such as RAM. It records all of this information about the vehicle in ROM, and the problems, and the inner computer, the model series, and some limitation. For example, the maximum speed limitation, and the shift program, and the accelerator program. All of this information is controlled by the MCU. Okay, let's back to the job description. Analog, okay, and the power and the connective products, yes, exceeded the KPI for the SOC, MCU, analog, power, and the connective products. Yes, it is for the component for the vehicle. Okay, let's see the next line. Build a strong direct relationship with R&D. It is research and development, procurement teams as key OEMs, local tier 1, and multinational accounts. Yes, you must have the good relationship between your internal and external teams, because for the tier 1 vendor, they are very important, and they are very important to your OEM partners. They always located in China, Thailand, and maybe in Malaysia. Okay, next slide. New business development in emerging countries in Southeast Asia. New business development in emerging country. Okay, maybe some new business will developing in Southeast country, such as Philippines, Myanmar, and other countries. Okay, next line. Provide accurate and punctual forecasting on a monthly basis. Yes, it is very, very important for the automotive industry, because the cost for the automation is very huge. So the forecasting for the sales is very important, and the how to say the 生产周期 because the production cycle is very long. In China, the product cycle always be 2 years. But recently, because of the electric car VE, it is very popular. The cycle duration is changed to 6 months, or maybe within 1 year. So the cost for purchasing, cost for the inspection, for the quantity inspection is very long. 质量检测 let's see. Quality monitoring is very important, and you must have the on-site people for responsible for the quality monitoring. Yes. Next slide. Manage and administer sales enquiries promptly and professionally. Manage and administer sales enquiries promptly and professionally. I don't know what about the how to say 实际工作内容 actual work content about this line. Maybe monitor for the sales inquiry, maybe for the manager for your teams, maybe. Okay, next line. Conduct the product presentation and propose solution to customers' requirement. Yes, you must have the ability to introduct your product and show the presentation for your customers, and you must have the solution to your customers' requirement. Okay, next line. Coordinate all sales opportunity with FAEs and business units. All sales opportunity with FAE. FAE maybe jungle. Let's check it on Google. FAE. There is no explain on Google and no explain on Wiki. Okay, let's see the requirements. Degree in electronical and electronical engineering on or marketing or other relevant discipline.
Electrical.
Electrical and electronic. Electrical and electronic engineering. Double E.
Electrical.
Electrical and electronic engineering. It is a double E. Or marketing or other relevant discipline. I think maybe you must understand the basic information, the knowledge of the MCU, SCU, and other technology, so you can coordinate with your partner and your tier 1 vendors. Okay, next, minimize 5 to 8 years of related experience in sales industry with relevant technology background in automotive segment. Yes, you must have the similar background, so you can understand the jargon, all of this abbreviation about this professional names for all these parts, such as MCU, SCU. Okay, strong leadership, people management, planning and prioritization skills. Good negotiation, analytical and presentation skills, excellent team player, and interpersonal strong communication and influence skills. Okay, it is this job introduction. Let's close the recording.